Live from Loudmouth Central, you're listening to Loudmouth Fisticuffs, hosted by combat sports analyst Joshua Furs and international ring announcer Mr. Live Worldwide Jeff Houston. Half sports show, half comedy show, and half conspiracy show. 100% in your face. So open your ears, shut your mouth, and have a good fucking time.
Guys, what's going on? Episode 56, right, Jeff? 56?
Can you count?
There he is. Episode 56, Loudmouth Fisticuffs. We appreciate you tuning in. Obviously, I'm here in this beautiful home of the man himself, Mr. Reggie Barnett Jr. Huge fight coming up in a little over a week, man. In Biloxi, obviously you and Johnny Bedford for the 135-pound title.
9 days, baby, 9 days.
9 days away. As always.
As we say, 8 days in a week. Stop.
As always, my lovely co-host, Mr. Live Worldwide Jeff Houston. What's up, Jeff?
Wow, Reggie, you're a brave man to be sitting next to the least funniest human being on the planet Earth today.
Hey, man. Oh, at least give me a little credit. Maybe like third or second least or fourth least or something like that.
Seriously, man. Seriously, a bottle of Pepto-Bismol is funnier than you.
That's not even that funny, Jeff.
No.
It's amazingly funny. But yes, episode number 56. I'm in Loudmouth Central, and my partner in crime, that sounds so gay, but I'm just going to say it anyway, Mr. Joshua Furs on location with the man himself, the number one ranked bantamweight bare knuckle fighter in the world today, Reggie Barnett Jr. Now, Reggie, let's talk numbers. You said 8 days and some sleep. All right, let's go ahead and let's put it out like that. 8 days and some sleep. 14 events ago, 25 months have passed, and we're right back. We have circled right back to where we were. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 6. You were the feature fight on, at the time, our biggest fight card to date. And here we are again, 8 days with some sleep. And now you get the opportunity to not only go after the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship world title, but you also get to go after the Police Gazette 135-pound bare knuckle world title, man. That's a lot of numbers, and that's a lot of facts. Talk to us.
Definitely a lot of numbers, definitely a lot of facts. But really, I'm not even chasing those belts, man. I'm not wrapped up in fighting for the BKFC title. I'm not wrapped up in fighting for the World Police Gazette title. I'm chasing my redemption. That's it. That is the main focus. I'm going out there and I'm going to put it on Johnny like I was supposed to do that first fight. God would have not put me in this position. I mean, the exact same position if he hadn't seen the growth in me, and I wouldn't be afforded this opportunity. So he opened the door for this to happen. And I'm just truly grateful that I get to go out there and put on and finally be a main event. After coming all the way from the tryout, having the most wins in the league, I think it was about time I was due to be a headliner too. So.
Do you see this as a league? I mean, do you see this as a league? We've had so many different ways that bare knuckle has been characterized. I like the idea of bare knuckle fight league. I like the idea of it being a league, rather than some people say promotions, some people say federations. I like the vernacular league. I like that. What do you think, Reg?
I like the vernacular it being a fight league in itself, and I feel like
cool.
Some people have been given a pass in the league, and some people like me have truly paid their dues to get to where they're at in the league. And I'm definitely due for this spot to be the headliner. Like I said, I could care less whether they would put the belts back up. Johnny doesn't even deserve to fight for the belts. I mean, it's lost. I had to beat 3 people in a row, and let alone a world champion, just to get my spot back, an opportunity at a title shot. But, that's neither here nor there. I'm going out there to take care of business.
All right, Josh, you can talk now if you want.
Hey, man, I was waiting on you. What I was saying, look, first off, real quick, guys, please don't forget, like, share, you know what to do. Help us out. If you like the stream, share it. I mean, most importantly, like I said, Reg, man, expand on that a little bit. Almost over 2 years ago now, the first fight with you and Johnny in Tampa, Florida. I was there. Jeff, were you there? I think Jeff was there.
Jeff might have been there. I don't know.
Jeff might have been there. I'm not sure.
I see him everywhere.
Expand on that, man, because
please do not let Josh rub off on your Reg. Please, you're cool enough without it.
Nobody will rub off on me. I stand on my.
A lot of us have seen a progression from you, right? Like, especially since that fight. But to you, in your mind, like, what has changed for you since that fight? Because it seemed like, I don't know. What would you? I don't want to put words. Like, what would you say was the biggest takeaway you took from that fight with Johnny?
Oh, well, somebody asked. I can't even remember exactly how they but for me, it confirmed my heart. Whether I lost that fight or won that fight, for me, it confirmed the extent of my heart and the extent of my determination. Because we all saw what happened. We're not going to sit here and act like I didn't get knocked down. But it's not what happens when you get knocked down. It's what happens after the knockdown. And what happened is I got up and I kept pushing the fight. I still kept pushing the pace, which is what I do in every fight. I push the fight. I push the pace. I'm coming to fight. I just wasn't mature enough to deal with the banter, the hit games and stuff that went back and forth pre-fight. So when I got knocked down, the game plan went out the window and I started fighting seeing red, which is not the way to approach any fight. No matter who you're fighting, you can't fight them based off of emotion. And I want to be honest, after the first round, the second and the third round, I was still solely fighting off of emotion. I didn't really dial back in until the fourth and the fifth round. And y'all all saw the fourth and the fifth round. I was giving Johnny that work. I was pushing him back. So it's but we've come so far from that aspect mentally, and we've also come so much further physically. I was truly the smaller man in that fight. I joke about it, and I have no problem sharing it. I always say when I got in the ring, I did my little circle thing, and I looked at Johnny, and talked to my dad for a second, and then when I turned around, I felt like Apollo Creed when he was about to fight the Russian in Rocky. I was like, holy shit, how the hell did he get so big overnight? I was like, that was not the same person that I saw the night before at weigh-in. And it I let it get in my head a little bit. And I had already given him so much credit for only being the bigger man, but that is no longer the case anymore. I'm wholeheartedly have came into my own as a 135-pound fighter. And if you don't believe me, I dumped a welterweight on his freaking head when I fought Chop Chop. Did I do it on purpose? Absolutely not. But that just shows the testament of how much stronger I have gotten in this sport at 135. This is my weight class. I was not really fighting at a 135-pounder weight class because I was teetering between whether I was going to go back to boxing at 128 pounds. So I'm trying to keep my weight down. But that is no longer the case. I am fully committed to this 135-pound weight class and solidifying my legacy in it. Beating Johnny is the first step to doing it. I want to be the first real champion in this weight class. Johnny had his opportunity to do that. He lost to Dat. Dat had his opportunity to fight the number one contender, but we all know he was too much of a bitch and a coward to do it. So here we are. Me and Johnny are running it back. But for me, it's more about redemption than it is about grabbing the title. My whole entire life has been about overcoming. And I will continue to overcome. So that way I can continue to inspire the people that believe in me and support me to overcome their struggles. I mean, that's just discipline.
Now, we can certainly empathize about that. We can certainly empathize about, we can't really understand it, Reggie, because obviously myself and Josh we're sitting on our biscuit, never having to risk it. So therefore, I can't understand the best thing that we can do. Yeah, whatever, man. I'm gonna tell you something. You were in the ring in a completely different capacity. Yeah, whatever. Please. Sitting on a buttered biscuit, never having to risk it, brother. That's the way that it is as of right now.
I like that.
But you touched on it over and over, saying it's not going to be that way. 25 months have passed. 14 months have passed. The numbers don't lie. So the question that I have for you, Reggie, do you feel 25 months later, 14 events passed, do you feel like a completely different person than Reggie Barnett that towed the line at BKFC 6? We're not just talking physically. We're talking mentally. We're talking every possible way.
Not even feel. I know that I am a better person. For one thing, and I don't want to get all preachy on y'all, but my purpose is different. But I forgot that. I forgot what my purpose was for this and why I was fighting and why I worked so hard to get to where I was. Straight up. Johnny, repetitively, if you watch his posts the last couple of weeks and blah, 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 all he's talking about is getting his straps back. That's it. I just want my belts back. Nobody's going to take my title. Reggie's going to be the only person to not be a 135-pound champion. But for me, all that shit does not matter. My purpose is more important. My drive is more important. And my purpose is to go out there and show people God's redemption and to go out there and continue to live in that. And when you have that pushing you, I can never be mentally broken. Okay, we are going to see on the 20th. What carries you through the fucking furnace when I don't run from you? When there is no backing up. If you want to stand there and bang it out, we can stand there and bang it out. I'm cool. But my purpose, my drive for this is completely different than anybody else's in the sport. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to have money. That's bitch ass tried to outprice himself. I didn't get into this to be famous or to be rich. Fighting saved my life, and bare knuckle changed my life. It gave me the platform to try to help other people change their lives as well. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I go out there every time and I leave it in that square circle. Chop quit. He didn't want to go another round, but y'all saw me standing there begging.
That needs to be a t-shirt. That needs to be a t-shirt. No, dude, you need to make that into a t-shirt. Fighting saved my life. Bare knuckle fighting changed my life. I like that. Man. That's that right there. Those are words to live by. And a lot of these, I guess you could say, glam fighters that are starting to make the transition over to bare knuckle fighting need to kind of maybe take a page out of that book and see that it's really more about the fighting saving your life rather than trying to work towards buying a fucking Versace robe and trying to, put across the illusion of wealth. I just think there are too many fucking fighters out there that put across the illusion of wealth by, I own a Rolex, I own a Versace robe, I bought this. But I think it's more of the illusion of wealth rather than actually being overall wealthy. I mean, not just in a monetary sense, but also in a happiness sense.
I'm wealthy. I am rich in spirit. I have come such a far way from having to stand in a line and wait to take a shower, having to stand in the line and have to sit next to another man just to take a shit. So I'm already wealthy, and I'm rich in spirit every morning that I wake up. And that's what gives me the drive to be here in the gym at 5:30 in the morning, to come back at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then to come back again and train till 9, 10 o'clock at night. Because I have people looking at me like, well, if Reggie can go out there and give it his all and every time, then why can't I get up off my biscuit, like you said, and go out there and risk it just as much? And it doesn't have to be for fighting, just for fighting. It's not everything is just about fighting. Money-wise, I'm great. I want or need for nothing. My kids are spoiled rotten. And as long as they're taken care of, I'm good.
I see Kim on there. I see Kim on there. I kind of figured that we would see Kim chime in. What's going on, Kim, sweetie? I know that you have been working hard
Mama
for
Barnett.
Mr. Barnett. Yeah, Mama Barnett, man. Mama and Papa Barnett. I still feel like Papa Barnett is still like, he's like my surrogate father. He still feels like a surrogate father, and I've only known him for 3 years, but he still feels like Papa Barnett to me.
You know, everybody's why is different. If you go back and you read my original post when I first started doing bare knuckle, you know, I was so grateful to God for giving me the opportunity, for saving me, you know. And then they started that tournament, and my focus went from being up there to just, I'm gonna get this belt, I'm gonna win this championship, you know. And that was my only focus, right? And I forgot my fucking purpose. I was given a second chance for a reason. And before the Abby fight, and that's why I was so cool, that's why I was so relaxed, that's why I came out there dancing and having fun, because I had refound my purpose of why I was doing what I was doing. Had to go back and take that introspective within myself. It's not always about, I don't even know how to put it in the words. All right, and that's why the Abby fight was so easy. No disrespect to Abdul Velasquez. I absolutely love and adore him, and he knows I have the utmost respect for him and his entire family. And then we go to Chop Chop, and I already knew what my purpose was, that I'm destined to solidify that I am one of the best 135-pound fighters because of the power and the strength that comes from my higher power, not just of what I've done for myself. And I went out there and I destroyed a living legend, absolutely destroyed him. There was no contest at all.
No, I mean, you can't argue that. You can't refute that.
And so you want to fast forward to now, God wouldn't have put me in this position to go redeem myself if I wasn't living according to my purpose. Y'all want to hear some crazy shit? I'm going to share this with y'all. Yesterday, well, a week or two ago, a young man came into my gym. And he was on the fence about whether he was going to sign up or not. And they filled out the paperwork, and I was in the middle of teaching and doing my sparring with my students. And I didn't get to finish the conversation I had with him. And right before his mom and them drove off, I ran out there and I had his paperwork. I was like, hey man, I was like, make sure you come back and you sign this, you fill this out. There's so much more that you can learn to help you get to wherever you want to go in life, other than just what we're teaching here as far as fighting. And then I get a phone call yesterday from a guy that I was incarcerated with. I haven't spoken to this man in years. Right? And somehow that young man and the guy that I was in prison with came across each other just by chance. And he was like, oh yeah, I just was about to sign up at his gym. And David, who I call him Brian, he's always spoken highly of me. What a lot of people don't know is that I was really trying to change my life. And in a place like that, when people see you really trying to change, they give you the most shit possible. They berated me, they teased me, they tried to bully me, but nobody would step to me because they knew that I could fight. And they didn't. They'd see me out on the yard training, and they'd mock me, and this kid ain't gonna do shit. He's not gonna be nothing. Blah blah. He'll be back in a couple of years. Well, whatever they said, right? But Brian called me yesterday and brought me to tears, and I just thought it was. And I called my mom. I was so excited. I was like, I know I'm on the right path. I know it. No matter what, I know I'm on the right path. Just because God put that affirmation in my heart and in my life at that moment. This just happened yesterday when I left the gym from training. All right.
Sounds like a sign to me. Sounds like a sign to me.
My purpose is completely different than anybody else's. And that man told me how proud of me he was, to see how hard I had fought, how much I had changed, how much tooth and nail to get. And now, I'm hands down, I don't care what anybody says, I am one of, if not the best bare knuckle fighter on this planet right now. And
all right, Josh. Come on, Josh, spit out that burrito and do it.
To inspire others to go out and chase their dreams, because I'm getting to live mine.
Hey man,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, dude.
Look, I'm passionate about this shit.
Stop saying that you don't mean to do anything, Reggie. You can talk as long as you want. Say what you got to do on this. This is Loudmouth Fisticuffs.
No, listen for real. Like, and I'm just listening to Reg. Like, I got goosebumps. Like, listening to him, and I told Reggie this before. They're just talking to him. Like, he's definitely, he's one of the realest dudes out here.
But I got away from that. I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't. I got away from that. As soon as they started that tournament, my focus changed from the gift that I was given. And the only thing that I was doing was like, I'm going to be the world champion. I'm going to be the world champion. I'm going to beat everybody in this tournament. I'm going to win. And you know what God said with that first fucking right hand that Johnny Bedford hit me with? Bomb. Sit your ass down, boy. You are not living the way that you're supposed to be. You're not doing what I set you out and what I saved you to do. And that's why I didn't win that fight. And no matter how hard I tried to win that fight, it wasn't going to happen because I wasn't doing it. But I know in my heart, I feel that shit every day that I wake up, that I am now. And I'm unstoppable. Period. It doesn't matter what he hits me with, how hard he comes, whether we got to stand in that one little tiny ass circle inside the squared circle. I am unstoppable because I am living according to my purpose. I am doing what I'm supposed to do. And I am going to use my platform, my skills, my talent to project that back into the world. And if anybody has a problem with it, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Let me switch gears a little bit, Reg, just a little bit. And I know you've talked about your feelings towards that at you let it know how you feel about it.
Who's that?
When this whole thing happened and that, for whatever reason didn't sign a contract, couldn't get the money right, whatever happened, right? And all that mess happened where he was stripped of the title, gave up the title, whatever the hell, whatever it was. Was there anything you were really looking forward to finally facing that? Did you have a preference whether or not it's Johnny or Dat? Because there's the animosity and the story with that, but then of course there's the rematch with Johnny.
Look, y'all see, you're not understanding, Josh. You're not understanding. That fight didn't happen just because Dat is a bitch, right? That's not reason. That's not the reason why the fight didn't manifest. That's not the reason why Dat jumped out of the league. He had a different plan for me, right? And he knew that I was so mad at the things that had said about me and attacked me on a personal level that he's like, nah, son, hold on. I need you to circumvent and get back to what you're supposed to be doing. That's why that fight didn't happen, right? All right. I need you to get back to what you were supposed to be doing. That's why that fight didn't happen. We all know that Dat is a bitch and a coward, and I stand by that. You don't talk about somebody like that and not stand behind your words, right? But at the same time, it was like, this isn't what you were supposed to be doing, and I'm not putting this on the table for you. It will never happen.
Would you?
And I'm okay with that.
Would you ever fight that down the road?
Yeah, I would. But not for the reason of what he said or what he did or whatever. That has nothing to do with it anymore. Because I'm a fighter. I'm a real fighter, and I'm a real man. And I'm not scared of anybody. And I stand on all my shit. That's the only reason why I would fight him again. But he doesn't deserve to fight me. He never deserved
Josh, you're not
to
understanding.
Fight me.
Yeah, Josh,
See,
come on.
I didn't understand that at that time, right? I was so busy like, I got to fight him for what he said. But in actuality, he didn't fucking deserve to fight me. You got to look at it for what it really is. I mean, I see it, and I wasn't before. Like I said, y'all, I am mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically fit in every fucking way. I was not the first time that I fought John.
And I think that right there is a testament to the change that we're going to see in this fight, because I've always felt, once again, looking outside in, I can only give you an idea of what I see and not what I experience, but from what I see, the fighters that truly make the strides in their career, I mean, and you notice it both as a fan, and you may be working the show, the corner, you may be the referee, what the fuck ever. I mean, it could be any one of those. But when you see a fighter that has his mental game finally on where it needs to be, I see more success when it comes to fighters when their mental game completely becomes in sync with their physical game, spiritual game, and such. I believe that the ones that have the mental game that checks out for a fight, I believe that that has to be a big strike against you when that mental game is not on par with your strength, with your physicality.
Fit for that last fight, period. There's no, I'm not going to sit here and pretend or sugarcoat or do. I was not mentally fit for that fight. I wasn't spiritually fit for that fight.
I just want to comment on here. I do. Josh is speechless. Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this.
He's always Reggie. Speechless, Tina.
No,
he's always speechless.
No, listen, this is real. This is real. Sit beside him, like listen to his passion, his energy, talking about this. Like I don't want to interrupt him. Like
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, listen.
I don't mean to.
No.
I don't mean to handcuff the fisticuff.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. His
hijack it. We don't give a fuck.
Real. This man's energy is real. I mean, it's fucking real. Like sit beside him, I can feel it. You can feel his words. You can. I mean,
you are giving energy away to everybody watching it.
For real.
I mean, you're.
I mean, like,
why would we stop
kidding.
that?
I mean, like,
why would we stop?
Really
that?
have, got goosebumps listening to him, man. I don't want to stop him. I want him to, this is some real shit.
This isn't just for me. I mean, it's for me. I absolutely love fighting. I like punching people in the face. It's what I happen to be good at. But like I said, the purpose behind it was never meant to be just for me. And when they started that tournament, I took that so far out of myself that I wasn't ready to be the champion. I wasn't ready to be the representative of my purpose. But now I know I am. And I will stand by it, no matter the outcome next weekend, which I already know what it's going to be because it's written. It's in my heart. But straight up, it is so much more than just me. There are people out there who have been through the things or going through the things that I have been through or gone through, who need to see me go out there and fight my ass off and leave it in that square. So I'll share another story with y'all real quick. And this happened a couple days ago. One of my students said, first of all, I have to let you know that Shaheed comes to the gym and trains with me 5:30 in the morning every week. This is a young man who just turned 18, is up and here with me in the gym at 5:30 every week, grinding. And he stopped coming to practice. And I'm like, so I reached out to him and his dad. I'm like, yo, why aren't you coming to practice anymore? He's like, I got to pass this class or I'm not going to graduate. And I was like, all right, that seems reasonable. And then the next week, he's like, hey, coach, do you think you can help me with my studies? And I was like, yeah, what are you doing? He said, geometry. I said, oh, hell no. Everybody knows that I suck at math. I failed algebra 4 times before I finally got my diploma. I had to keep going back. But I didn't give up. I said, but I'll see what I can do. Send me a problem, and I'll try to help you the best I can. So 2 days goes by. He didn't send me a problem. I'm like, yo, what is you doing? Send me a problem. So he sent me a problem, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I have no idea how to solve this damn thing at all. Right? So I asked a couple of the other kids, and a few of them had answers for it. And I directed him to work with them. Well, last night he called me at 10:30. My wife's like, who the hell is calling you at 10:30 at night? I'm like, I don't know, babe. It might be a client or something, right? You know, when somebody calls you that late at night, old ladies always got questions.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I looked, and I saw it was him. And I said, hey, man, I'm in bed. Give me a shout in the morning. He's like, oh, my bad, coach. I just wanted to tell you something. I have some great news. And I was like, all right, well, I'll talk to you in the morning. We have morning practice on Thursday. That's my last 5 a.m. practice tomorrow morning. When I get up this morning, I messaged him. I was like, "What's up, man? What's your great news?" He said, "I passed. I'm going to graduate." Sorry, I am living according to my motherfucking purpose. I don't care what nobody says. Was I the one that was able to find the answer? No. I'm not going to take credit for that. But could I help him and guide him a little bit to where he needed to be so he could accomplish what he wanted to accomplish? Yes. Man, I'm already a champion. That is so much more important than any belt the BKFC could give me, any belt that Scott Burke could give me. I love and adore and respect them both, but I told them both I could care less whether you put the belts on the line or not. I'm going to beat Johnny's ass for my redemption, and everything else is just icing on the cake.
How are you feeling about? How do you feel about Johnny? I mean, personally, I mean, you know, I have to believe. I have to believe that it's not 100% personal for you the way that you're talking to us today. I can't believe that it's completely personal with you. I believe that there is some degree of it, but I can't feel that you have negative feelings against the man.
I don't have any negative feelings for Bedford at all. Not 1 ounce of negative feelings for Johnny Bedford at all. I admire him. I respect him. He is a great man. He's an awesome father, a great coach, just like I am. But I am a better fighter. And I am a fighter that knows why he's fighting. He's just fighting to bring that belt back home to Texas. That's it. He said it over and over and over again. And he's not going to switch up in a week and be like, oh, no. But go back and look. My track record speaks for itself. I know when I was living according to my purpose, when I got off track, and when I found the right lane. Can he fight? Is he a great fighter? Yeah, but I'm better. I was better in that first fight, but I wasn't fighting mentally fit, and I was fighting off of emotion. Mm-hmm. But all that is gone now, and he hit me with his best punch, the punch that he hurts everybody with, right? Are we not lying? He hit me with his best right hand that he could possibly hit me with, and I got up. Mm-hmm. And I kept coming. And I just nodded my head at him and smiled, like, you got that one. Well, you have nothing else for me.
And you're better prepared for that punch now. You are much better prepared for that punch should it come your way.
Yes, 100% better prepared. I'm better prepared for Johnny in himself. Now, he can only fight, no disrespect, but he only really knows how to fight the way he fights. I'm not called educated hands for a reason. He just now started branching out and trying to bring in other boxing coaches and other coaches to up his bare knuckle game. We've been there and done that. So I'm not the one that's a step behind. I've already been doing that and expanding on it and getting better at it every fight. And I'm not the test dummy. We proved that in the Chop fight. You ain't gonna come out here and do a trial run on easy. It's not happening. So if you can't beat me,
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you. My question for you, I'm going to take us off track for just a second because that's what our Loudmouth Fisticuff fans expect. I mean, they expect us to go off the track, and we're going to step away from Reggie Barnett, the fighter, and we're going to talk to Reggie Barnett, the fight fan.
Okay.
And my question to you is, whether it be BKFC 20, BKFC 21, are there any upcoming fights where you, as a fight fan, are excited to see?
Absolutely. There are quite a few fights. So I am super stoked to see Crystal Pittman make her BKFC debut. I know she's going to have to go out there and crush it. I don't really know too much about her opponent, but I know
Audra Cummings. Yeah, she. Wanting to make her bare knuckle debut and such, but Crystal has been foaming at the mouth for the opportunity at bare knuckle.
Exactly. But see, what I respect and I love about her is she is humble and respectful, and she has gone out and truly learned the sport of bare knuckle. Because there's a difference. I take nothing away from Paige Van Zandt. She knows I have the utmost respect for her too. But I feel like her shortcomings in the league is because she didn't really take time to learn what this sport truly was. She was just going to go out there and fight the way she fought. And that's not how you get shit done in this league.
Okay. What else are you excited about?
Josh Burns and Shoemaker, if that fight ever manifests itself.
Yeah.
It's on the docket. It's on the docket.
The beef back and forth. Definitely.
Third time they tried it now, right?
Yeah, third time they tried it now, right? Third time. Maybe it's a charm. Who else is fighting? Give me a second. I don't have the card right in front of my.
No, that's fine. What do you think about our co-main event that's coming up for BKFC 20? We got Alan Belcher. We got Alan Belcher taking on heavyweight veteran of the sport, Tony Lopez, veteran of almost every fucking sport.
He is. Don't worry, Mama T. I'm getting there. I mean, we know that Alan Belcher's a great fighter and he's a powerhouse or whatever, but Tony is built for this shit. There's a big difference between just being a great fighter and a powerhouse and somebody who's truly built for bare knuckle. So I feel like you can't just sport into the first time who we know is built for this shit. You can't, because it doesn't matter how strong or how powerful you are. It takes a different level of tenacity at some retrospect. And we already know that Lopez has been tried in the fire. I mean, him and Joey Beltran at the first BKFC, I mean, that was just spoke for itself. So I'm intrigued to see which way that fight goes. I really, really am.
Well, we know that the man can take a beating. Josh knows it. I know it. Tony Lopez, you can beat on him all day and he'll just look at you. So we know that he can.
Yeah, right. So what happens when Allen runs out of gas? What happens when he runs out of tricks in his bag, and Tony's still standing there, coming at your ass? You know, what's gonna happen now?
I was gonna say, what's the old JR saying? He's tougher than a $2 steak, right? Like Tony Lopez is tough, man. And really too, like, you know what, Belcher, if I'm not mistaken, when he was in like doing MMA, he fought at like 185 and stuff, right? He never fought heavyweight, right? Or am I imagining that? Like, wasn't he like 185, 205?
I'm not 100% sure what weight he was.
I don't think like he's put on a lot of muscle, you know, the last couple of years.
That muscle don't really help you. I put on some muscle, but I didn't put on too much.
Right.
That muscle don't teach you how to fight.
No, he's fought at heavyweight before.
Right.
He has fought. He's fought at heavyweight before. He's fought between welterweight, light heavy, and heavy. So he has fought heavy before.
Okay.
Has he? Okay.
But the whole thing is, why did he fight heavyweight? And when you see guys that are jumping between that many weight classes, it's not really a good thing.
I agree, especially in MMA. Especially in MMA, when you see guys that are fluctuating in between, that means something in your life is not right. You're not living as a fighter should live, where you have to fluctuate. Well, I don't think your weight gain. I'm gonna tell you, your weight game. I don't think it's on if you have to jump that much. I really don't, because as you know, Reggie, the power factor, especially in bare knuckle, changes so drastically between the divisions.
Oh, definitely changes between divisions.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's actually, I think it's a little bit more prevalent than other sports when you see the punching power, but just the punching power difference between 10 pounds. Just between 10 fucking pounds. It's ridiculous.
I just want to say too, I know we got a little time. We have a time frame here, but Reggie's going to demonstrate the punch he's going to put away Johnny with.
Not at all.
No, I'm just kidding.
Not at all. We give no secrets away.
He's going to demonstrate on me.
I show what's already been seen, what's already been used, and it's not a question of do you know it's coming. It's a question of can you stop it.
You can demonstrate it on Josh. I don't care. I mean, I'll run this shit myself.
And what I love about that is they get so wrapped up in whether they can stop it or not that everything else goes out the window. And I have so many tools on this belt. I'm like Batman, I'll just spin this bitch and pull out another one.
I like that.
I say it every time, man, and I know I could speak sort of for Jeff on this one, but like we're always so excited, man. Every time you fight, God, every card. I mean, we get. I don't know that. Has there been a card yet? I mean, I know it's different for you, Jeff, because you're there, but like I can honestly say every card I'm super fucking pumped about. And it's almost like each one more than the next.
Well, you should be. Well, you should be. Well, you should be. You should be pumped because
I'm really
we're
excited for this, man. And you know what? Like I know I might show a little bit of bias towards Reg because he's a Virginia guy, and I really support especially all the local people. Like they're my people, man. Like him and Brian Maxwell and Britt and I gotta support the local guys, man, guys and gals. But I'm pumped about this. I'm so excited for you, man.
Hold on, I have to plug my brother Brandon Pennington. He went to the tryouts in Belfast. He showed his ass. I told them that we are not taking anything the easy route. That we were not going to try to get him a pass just because he's the coach of one of the best fighters in the world. He went out there and put on for himself, and we're hoping to see him in Omaha making his debut in Nebraska. So I'm excited about that too.
That is beautiful. That is good stuff. That is good stuff right there because that right there also shows that No, go ahead, Reggie, please.
I came to kick open the door. Shit, I kicked open the door for Brittany. All love and respect to her, and look where she's at now. I'm here to open doors and opportunities for people, and not just in the fighting world, in every facet of life.
Let me touch on that for just a second, Reggie. You were there, obviously, and you were watching all of the bare knuckle hopefuls that came out to Belfast to try out. Were there any that really kind of stood out that seemed like that they were built for the sport? I mean, I don't know if you know names off the top of your head, but was there anybody
there were
that you saw
I don't remember all the names. I had written down, like I made my own little list before I left, and I gave it to Nate, and I was like, here, these are your guys, if you're going to bring any guys in. And in all honesty, I left my brother's name off the list.
Really?
Like I said, I didn't want my own personal influence to have anything to do with what he's going to come in and accomplish in the sport.
That would have to be their choice. You don't really want that to be based on your choice. You want them to look at him just like anybody else and say, if you're going to make that choice, if you believe he's right, then you believe that he's ready because you don't want it to seem like you're biased in any way.
Exactly. And so, but yeah, there were, I want to say there was about 8 fighters out of however many showed up that I really looked at it, and I'm like, if they settle in and they learn this sport, they're going to go far. And somebody asked me the other day, what's it going to take, because we are the fastest growing sport and what is it, combat sports, blah, 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 blah. But somebody asked, what's it going to take for BKFC to really, really turn over? Those kind of guys, building stars from within the organization.
I think it's more than stars. I think honestly, it's going to take a superstar. And I'm interested to see who the superstars are going to be. The first bare knuckle actual superstars. Reggie, I believe that you're definitely in that category and such, but I believe that's what it's going to take. It's going to take somebody that not only transcends bare knuckle fighting, but somebody who can be successful outside of bare knuckle fighting, because that a lot of fighters who end up achieving some degree of superstardom are the ones that can kill it outside of the ring as well as inside.
Well, it's funny. I know Dave's probably going to hate me for saying this, but I didn't come in this sport to be famous. I didn't come in this sport to be rich. I didn't even come in this sport to be a fucking superstar. I came in this sport to stay alive. Right? But at the same time, that's exactly it. You kind of took the verbiage, out of my mouth. And I've always said it to Dave that, other than no disrespect to all the other fighters who have fought in other leagues, in the UFC and Bellator and blah, 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 I do not knock their accomplishments. And I don't ever, turn my nose up to them coming from other leagues. But what it's really going to take is a superstar born out of bare knuckle itself. not a star that came from the UFC, not a star that came from Bellator or One or wherever else.
Right.
It's going to take a star that was truly born out of bare knuckle fighting championship. I am one of those, and if I morph into a superstar, I'm going to keep this same energy. I'm going to live according to my purpose and continue to inspire, motivate, and encourage other people to chase their dreams in whatever facet of life they choose.
You will not be complacent.
I don't know.
You're not that. No, you will not be complacent in any way. I don't see that happening.
Not at all. Now, for other people, I can't speak for them, but that's what it's going to take. And I'm excited to see in the next 2 or 3 years, what actual superstars are born out of this sport.
That's exciting stuff, Josh. I mean, the concept of bare knuckle superstars, because I mean it's happened in every other combat sport, and we're only 3 years old, approaching 3.5 years old in the grand scheme of things. But it's going to be exciting to see who the first batch of true bare knuckle superstars will be.
I
feel
think
like
you're seeing them
Brink's on
now.
her way.
I think you're seeing them now. I
feel
think
like Taylor Starling's on her way.
Reggie was spot on when he said I think it's got to be these homegrown people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think pulling the people from UFC and both they have their place. I'm not saying that they don't, but I feel like
it builds the product. There's nothing wrong with bringing them in because it does build the product.
Yes,
sure.
Yes, and we want to build the product. I've always supported the BKFC.
Agreed.
Me and Dave don't see eye to eye on everything. I have been a pain in his ass since the very first bare knuckle tryout, and he knows that. But he loves and respects me. He knows that I'm coming and I'm going to show up and put on every time. But it is so when you everybody's like, oh, that platform bullshit, blah 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 blah. No, was it great to see? No, but did it put more eyes on the sport? Did it make more people tune in that probably never ever heard of bare knuckle fighting championship? Yes, it did, and that's what it's about. I walk around and I tell people all the time, have you ever heard of bare knuckle? I don't even promote myself most of the time. I leave them to find out about me on their own. Mm-hmm. I just tell them about the sport of bare knuckle and that, and they're like, it's legal. I'm like, yeah, you got to check out this app, check out bare knuckle fighting championship. This is the real thing. And then some people will come back and they'll send me a message on my Instagram and be like, yo, why didn't you tell me you was one of the fighters, dude?
That's humility right there.
Because I'm trying to see the sport continue to grow.
Because you also know it's not just about you. It's the sport is big. The sport, you don't feel that you're bigger than the sport.
Right. But there are people in other organizations who feel like they are bigger than the sport. And that's We got 10 minutes, y'all. Me and Josh going to lunch. I can eat what I want. I'm having a grilled chicken sandwich.
Well, I can guarantee you, looking at Josh, it's probably going to be deep fried.
No, actually, no. I'm not eating deep fried. Nope.
Where we're going, you can't get deep fried.
Yeah,
we're going to my sponsor, J&K Style Grill, right around the corner from my gym. They got healthy choices.
I'm jelly.
They got unhealthy choices, but I'm going to get something healthy. He can get whatever he wants. All the food is great regardless.
Oh, man. I mean,
man. Well, like I said, man, it was a absolute pleasure, man. And like I said, it's just 9 days away. BKFC 20.
8 days in the wake up.
There you
I'm
go.
going to plug myself.
Go ahead.
First of all, we got limited edition new. They're only for the 4th BKFC 20 Bare Knuckle King Reggie Easy Educated Hands shirt. It's on mymillions.co. So if you want one to support, please go up there and get one.
You got some here?
Now you got to order. All right. We have other shirts here. We'll have on site easy shirts for our team colors. I can't tell you what color it is, so if you order the shirt, you'll just find out what it is when you get it.
I'll grab a shirt before I go.
Also, please, y'all, go check out my website, educatedhands.co. You can find everything Reggie Barnett in one easy place. No pun intended. Got y'all.
Talk to us about the gym, Reggie. Talk to us more about the gym. I mean, you're there. Talk to us more about the gym.
All right. Well, I mean, my father founded 757 Boxing for me about 14 years ago. We traveled. We didn't have our own gym. We went from place to place. It was just kind of us wandering. And when I was in a really rough spot in my life, and I felt like my father opened these doors for me to try to keep me out of trouble. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I still had to go the hard route. But now we have a membership out the Yin Yang. If you can see the kids over there playing right now, we have a kids summer camp. Like I said, we have the Educated Minds program where when one of the students or the kids reach out and they need help with their studies or something, we try to link them with other fighters and other students so that way they can build those bonds and help each other grow together. And then our creed is we build champions one round at a time. We have champions from the age of 6 to a national champion at the age, I think she's 16 now. She won nationals last year. She's number 2 in the nation this year. So the vision is just to inspire the kids through boxing. We have people that stay for a lifetime. We have people that just pass through, but the values that you learn here at 757 Boxing will stay with you for eternity.
That's lovely. That is lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to us about the gym. I always felt that that's something that we never got the opportunity to really discuss in greater detail. And this was just the opportune time because, Josh, thank you very much for giving everybody watching an opportunity to actually take a quick, brief look at 757 Boxing.
You only got one side.
Yeah, there's a whole other side.
There's a whole other side over there.
No, I saw that. I know that you didn't get an opportunity to walk over there because I know that there's another section. Yeah.
But and then I guess the biggest thing that I want to plug, I'm fighting this month, so there is no open gym. But for anybody out there, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need to hang out, if you need to blow off some steam, regularly every Sunday between 6 and 8, I do an open gym. It's free and open to the public. My gym is a safe haven. We don't tolerate no nonsense. We don't want you bringing no BS in here. But if you truly are going through something, and you just need somewhere to go, you need somebody to talk to, you need to punch a bag, or you're just another fighter out there who doesn't have as much money to have a gym membership or something, 757 Boxing doors are open, 6 to 8 a.m. every Sunday for open gym. I started that. Me and my dad kind of bumped heads when I initially started. Ain't nothing, But then you realize why, and again, that is a part of my purpose. I'm fortunate enough to have these things in my life, and I want to make sure that I give back as much as I can. They said in the rooms when I was still going to AA that we only keep what we have by giving it away, and I completely, holistically believe that. I get better by teaching other people how to fight. I stay healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually by mentoring and talking to other people.
Well, that's good karma, brother. That's good karma. That circles back. I know that you're not interested in it circling back, but it is. That's good karma coming to you.
100%, man. I think that's a good spot, man. But,
yeah, I'm about to go get my lunch. Y'all, make sure y'all tune in. 8 days in the Wake Up, BKFC 20 is going down live from Biloxi, Mississippi, my second home. So shout out to Val Sports Bar and Grill for hosting my meet and greet right in Mississippi. Shout out to the entire Biloxi Pro Hockey League for supporting and sponsoring me. Y'all do not want to miss this fight. It is going to be a war. I'm okay with it being a war. We're going to find out how much Johnny has learned because the education is real. And I dropped the mic on that.
That's it.
I love you guys. I'm out.
There ain't nothing else to say. He's
so
literally
much.
leaving.
Holy crap. Holy crap, Josh. I mean, just when you think that maybe even for a second, knowing this man for the years that we've known him, that you have him figured out. This man is all about pulling a 180 at almost every opportunity that you get. It doesn't matter whether you're talking to him on the phone, doesn't matter whether you're texting him, doesn't even matter if you're standing in front of the man itself. This guy is all about bettering himself every chance that he gets. It's very inspirational to meet someone who's it's contagious about meeting someone who's not complacent in any way. He's always trying to find a way to better himself. As long as he stays away from the algebra, he'll do just fine. Apparently, he said,
On that note, because he's waiting on me, we're gonna go grab some lunch, man. But
can you believe this? Under 1 hour. This is definitely the shortest version of Loudmouth Fisticuffs we've ever had.
But you know what? Maybe one of the most powerful. So maybe it kind of equals out. So
emotionally, spiritually, he laid it down.
We're done.
He laid the spiritual smackdown on our candy asses. That's for sure.
Look, we got to roll as always. Thank you to Mr. Reggie Barnett Jr. for letting us come in here. 757 Boxing. As always, Mr. Lowry, White Jeff Houston. I'm Joshua Furs. We're at Loudmouth Fisticuffs. Follow, like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. Other than that, we out.
5,000 and out, brother.
Hey, Josh, can we get him?